What are your plans for 2024? Do you have any evaluation of 2023? What are you contemplating about? Are you following my podcast, Light Up with Shua? To all my listeners and followers, thank you for being here. I'm your host Shua Khan Arshad, and I welcome you to Light Up with Shua, a weekly podcast on conscious living and parenting. This is kind of a review of 2023 that we have done so far. The topic of for my podcast on fasting has been, very important and is still continuing. I have to cover the financial and money matters from all the scholars that I have learned from. I'm still learning. And I have added contemplation. And this is all part of our life. And how can we teach about money, about how to contemplate, which helps in multiple ways, which I talked briefly in my Urdu segment, and I will be talking about it in English. So fasting has been quite a major topic last year. I will continue on it because it connects to our healing, our health, the health of our world today, how it affects our brain, our thinking, our mindsets. Because the whole goal of this, fasting or whatever we do, the goal is to have a better life, not only for us, but everyone around us. So, as I was saying, that we have been thinking about how to improve our lives by conscious living and how our parents affect us throughout our life and why it is important for us to be aware of it and how can we let go of things that are not helpful for us and or our children, and how to keep those treasures from our parents, from our grandparents, from our adults, from our families that are beneficial for our life and for our children's life. So in that, we were talking about the topic of fasting, how it affects. I will be continuing to talk about this topic, which is very important. It relates to everything we do in this world. How, that is what I will be talking about. I recently started a topic on contemplation, which is also related to conscious living, mindfulness in Islamic tradition, and how Western psychology has been teaching us or talking about it. So these are the topics which I feel are very useful and it is beneficial for everyone or whoever wants to make a difference in this world. As I have said, please try to visit my website, LUWSacademy.com, and it's still under construction though, but I will assure you that you will find something beneficial there. My podcast link is there. And so we will continue with these topics and why contemplation is important, how fasting is connected to everything, and how health is so important, mental health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health. These are all connected and related. So I hope you will continue to support this channel, this podcast, and join me in my journey to heal ourselves through good habits of course, and learn the wisdom of in which exists from our past and whatever we are creating in our present, and how it can affect our future and the future generations. We should think about not only about us, but also when we are gone, what are we leaving behind for our children and grandchildren, and how it will affect this world, because we are answerable for everything, whether we like it or not. If you find this episode valuable or interesting, then please share it with your family and friends. I would be delighted if you can leave a comment or a review. And do visit my website, lightupwithshua.com, and find out more about this podcast and other programs offered by LUWS Academy, LLC. And remember to be healthy and hopeful. I hope you will continue to take care of yourself, your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. You will join in my circle of meditation, which will be zikr. You will join me for workshops and retreats on self-healing and transformation. You will join in on this podcast when I will bring guests, or I will be talking about a topic that will interest you. And I am doing some other projects which will interest you or benefit you. But please stay tuned and do find my schedule on my upcoming retreats, trainings, and especially breathing exercise sessions that I was offering last year weekly for about 5 months, and I will continue that again this year online. And when we will do in-person retreats, then we will have, of course, breathing sessions as well, and the whole program. But this podcast is a way for me to reach you, to talk about conscious living and parenting. And I will be talking about Gabor Mate, a very well-known psychologist. He treats trauma, and he himself has been through a lot, and how he's, serving our world today. I will be using the work of all the doctors, the scholars, in these podcasts and my trainings. So I hope you will join me in these sessions, and also support my podcast, and share, rate, and review with your friends and family and your loved ones. So thank you for listening or watching, and I hope to connect with you this year more actively. I hope to have more interaction from you, your feedback, your comments, which will help me to improve my podcast and my work. Thank you. Thank you for listening to Light Up with Shua, and hope you will join me again next week. Sometimes I plan to post more than once, so if you are subscribed to this podcast, you will not miss any important episode. And remember to ask yourself, what lights you up? Stay well and stay in harmony. See you next week.